I swear I do more than book hauls. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today I am doing another book haul, and first and foremost I wanted to say that I am free. I am free to finally be back on the internet and to finally like embrace myself into YouTube kind of, and to like jump back into the swing of things and to post more on Instagram, to post more on BookTube, and hopefully come up with more creative content for my new viewers here and for my existing viewers here, because there is some things that have been clearing up in my personal life. Now I have more time to do more recreational things, and I can let myself breathe for a bit before I jump back into the swing of things at work and do more work stuff and, you know, deadlines, boring stuff like that. But anyways, I'm here back on the floor next to my TBRs and my TBR cart and my desk to do a book haul. And I know it looks very chaotic and messy in the background because my life is chaotic and my life is very messy, even though the last 2 weeks or the last few weeks or the last few videos, all I've been posting are book hauls. And I know people enjoy book hauls because people like to see what I purchased or what I received in the mail. It's always interesting, but I can also understand that it's kind of not creative and it's not that fun to keep consistently watching from someone. So I do apologize for that. I promise you that I do have more interesting videos that are going to be coming soon if I have time to film it. And I'm probably going to have to do a wrap up video very soon as well, because I read a lot of books and I haven't done any reviews for them on this channel. I mean, I do reviews on my Goodreads, but you know what? It's fun to actually talk to the camera about the books and how they made me feel. But long story short, let's get started with our book haul. So the first book that I want to show you guys today is this book called The Feminist Agenda of Jen-Mai Kincaid, and it's by Kate Hotmare. Jesus, I don't know how to pronounce names and I don't know how to read names. But basically, I purchased this book from the Penguin shop here in Toronto because I saw it and I was like, oh my god, it's so gorgeous, I want to get it. And I actually saw this book way before on an Instagram profile. It was actually on the Instagram profile of the illustrator who actually drew this cover. And if you think like the art style is very similar or very popular nowadays, it's because this illustrator has actually drawn the covers of Romance Book Club and also like the other illustrative copies from Berkeley Romance. So this is published under Penguin Teen and Berkeley is owned by Penguin, so that's why the illustrators are like the same and that's why the covers are starting to look the same. But I was just in love with this cover and I just really like the pink and the blue, and the spine is gorgeous as well. So it just looks like that with the title on it, and it's just very pretty. I don't know too much about this book because I only bought it based on the cover and I just really wanted to buy it. It's about a girl in high school who has a dance coming up, and then like tradition says that it's the guy that always asks out the girls. So I think she's shaking things up and she's just trying to like make people think more about their roles in society and things like that. And I can't wait to share my thoughts of it to you. So the second book that I have to show you is this very battered copy of this book that has been out of print for like years now. Like this is actually a used copy that I bought on Amazon Marketplace for like I think $12, which is kind of overpriced, but it's Body and Soul by Stacey Cat. This is the last book in a Ghost and the Goth series. So let me tell you a little bit of backstory. Basically, this series was my life growing up in high school. Like it was just so good and I loved it so much and it brought back so many memories. And I read the ebook format, but like obviously I want the physical format so I could remember it. So that's why I went back and I bought the last book in the series. I already have the first and the second book, but if you guys don't know what the series is about, or if you've seen it around and you kind of like went like, what is that? Or you just like never saw it ever before, because I totally understand since it's out of print already. This book is about a cheerleader who's like super popular and she's like, everybody loves her, but then all of a sudden she got hit by a bus and she died and she became a ghost who is kind of like living on Earth, not really belonging in heaven, not really belonging in hell, and she's just trying to figure out like why is she even there. During her time on Earth, she bumps into this goth guy, like this guy who's kind of goth because he wears black and he's moody, he keeps his eyes down, he doesn't really interact with other people. She bumps into him and she quickly realizes that he can actually see her and that he can actually touch her and that he can communicate with ghosts, and he also sees all the ghosts in the high school. So together they kind of form a team where they kind of solve mysteries around the school and try to figure out like who's out to get them, because if I remember correctly, there was a villain out there that really wanted to destroy all the ghosts and basically the world itself. So it's up to them to save everyone. So I really enjoyed the series and I can't wait to reread it if I have the chance this year. The next book that I want to show you guys is The Royal Runaway by Lindsay Emery. And this book is a little bit dirty, but it's okay. I actually bought this book off of Amazon for only $13. The list price was $22. So I thought that that was a great steal. I think this book actually came out last year and I saw a lot of people on my Instagram actually having this book from Galleria Books, but unfortunately Feminist Agenda Canada did not have an ARC of this copy, so I wasn't sent an ARC and I was too cheap to pay full price for a book like this one. So I waited for it to go on sale and I bought it for $13. So go me for saving some money at least. But this one, I believe it's about a princess who gets tied up and looped up with someone like the security guard, and it's like a princess security guard romance. And I saw the reviews on Amazon and everybody loved it. I can't wait to dive into this one. I heard it was like very action packed and it was like kind of like borderline romantic suspense, but more on the romance side, I believe. So the next book that I have to show you guys is This Is Really Happening by Erin Chak. And this is actually a nonfiction novel. This is a book filled with series of collection of essays that Erin has actually written. And Erin is actually popular or more well known on BuzzFeed. I don't know if she's actually one of those face actors inside the videos. I think she was just like maybe like a writer on BuzzFeed that she garnered a lot of attention and she garnered a lot of popularity. But regardless, Erin has suffered through cancer, and this book is just a collection of all the essays talking about her experiences with cancer. And basically I bought this book because I saw it one night and it was only on sale for $1.80, and I was like, this is a joke, right? It's $1.80. But you know what, there are a lot of crazy sales on Amazon, and I read the synopsis of this and it gave you like a little passage of like an essay that she wrote, and I thought it was like so beautiful, and it was written in a way that was like being told like a fiction story. So that's why I decided to just hit checkout for it, and I can't wait to read this one as well. I'm sure it's going to make me cry. The reviews on this one was pretty good as well. So the next book that I have to show you is actually two copies of the same book called In 5 Years by Rebecca Surley, and this was sent to me from Simon Schuster Canada, and they sent me two copies and also a friendship bracelet, two friendship bracelets. I guess like one copy sent to my best friend and one bracelet from my best friend as well. So I think that was super sweet and super nice of them for sending me this package. I actually read Rebecca Surley's book, The Dinner List, like literally a week before I was sent this book, and I really enjoyed The Dinner List. The Dinner List was about a girl who thought she had it all, who thought she was not in the wrong for a lot of the things that she did in her past, and that everybody was betraying her and everyone was just kind of like fucking up around her. And one day on her birthday, she enters a restaurant thinking that it's like a dinner party to celebrate her birthday, and there is Audrey Hepburn, her father that passed away recently, like her ex, and then like a professor and like things like that, like just people in her life. And then it's just the stories, like individual stories of her impacting those people and how those people impacted her life. And it was like a really good story about realizing that, hey, you know what, you think you're perfect but you're actually not. And I really enjoyed that story. So I'm very excited to read In 5 Years. I think if I remember a little bit correctly from the synopsis of this book is actually about best friends, and that's why I got two copies. So I'm very excited to read these books as well. So the next book that I purchased for myself, again, because I like to treat myself a lot, welcome to the channel. This book is called Unmarriageable by Sonia Kamal, and I literally, once again, I bought this because it was a cover buy. So Unmarriageable came out last year, I believe, and it was in hardcover format. I think it was blue, and I was just like, okay, whatever, like I don't really care for it. But then the paperback came along, and I think this is from Berkeley as well, or from Penguin Random House, but they have like the cartoon design again, and I really like it, and I really like the cover. It was on sale for $12, so I was like, let's go for it. So this one is a Pride and Prejudice retelling, but set in Pakistan. So I think we're all familiar with the Pride and Prejudice plotline, but I'm excited to read this one as well because I just love reading retelling. So the next book that I purchased for myself is Kissing Ezra Holtz and Other Things I Did for Science by Brianna Shrum. And now this book is a YA teen novel. It's a romance contemporary, and she is the author of The Art of French Kissing. And I bought this book because I actually have like a copy of her other book that I never read yet. But I was thinking, like, it was such a cute book. Like, it looks cute. So I'm like, maybe it'll be good. And then I saw this book on sale. And I was like, maybe I'll just buy, like, another book from the same author, even though I never read that author before. So that's why I just bought this book. This one I have no idea what's about, but I think that they are enemies to lovers romance from what I like a quick glance of like the back is about. But I'm excited because I'm getting back into YA and I'm jumping full force into it and nobody can stop me. So the next book that I bought is The Probability of Miracles by Wendy Wonder, and she is the author of The Museum of Intangible Things. And once again, this is the same story as last time. I have the book, The Museum of Intangible Things, but I just never read it yet. The cover was really cute, and then I saw that her second novel that she put out was also on sale for like $5, and I was just like, go for it. Let's just buy it up, guys. And so I bought this book. No idea what it's about, but hopefully it's good and hopefully it'll bring tears to my eyes and make it worth the $5 I spent on this. So now we're moving on to the last part of the book haul, which is just ARCs that I received from HarperCollins Canada. So basically I was invited to a very cozy knit event at this chocolate restaurant where we melted a lot of chocolate, we ate a lot of chocolate. I drank a really fancy hot chocolate that I really enjoyed, and I met with like the publicist, I met with like the marketing people, and I also met team members from HarperCollins, and then I also met the author of one of the books that I'm about to show you. And it was just like a fun little event where we talked about new releases, we talked about like the process of ARCs, we talked about like the process of the program, and it was just very entertaining. It was a very great Sunday, and at the end of the event they actually gave us like a bag full of ARCs that we requested. So I got some of my ARCs that I really wanted to get like this entire year. It's like my 2020 most anticipated summer ARCs. So I'm very excited for it. So let's get started with that one. So the first book that I received in my goodie bag was You Say It First by Katie Catugno, and she is the author of like 99 Days, How to Love, Fireworks, 10 out of 10 or something. Like, oh my god, I already forgot like the titles of her books, but basically she's a very well-known YA author, especially from HarperCollins, and I was like really excited to get this book because look at the cover. The cover is gorgeous, it's so cute. I can't wait to take pictures of this book on my Instagram feed and to like really show off my creativity and things like that. So this book I don't know anything about, but here's the kicker. I'm actually on chapter 10 of this book already. Like I'm slowly pacing myself through it. I was kind of busy, so I was kind of like not putting myself like full efforts into reading it. But now that I'm not that busy anymore, I'm ready to like dive into this book. But from what I've read, it's about these two totally different teens. One of them comes from like a kind of like a messed up background, and he's just kind of like trying to like lay low and like live life and like not care. He doesn't really seem like he has ambitions to go to college and to like do better things for himself. He just kind of wants to like stay in town a bit. And then we have a girl who is like an overachiever, who's so smart, who wants to like, you know, be the best that she can be. And she's also a part of like this political organization campaign thing where she helps people register to vote. So this book is actually very political, I believe. Like it's just about like the voting process and how youth should make their voice heard by casting their votes if they are legal voting age. So I thought this came timely for what's happening in America right now. So I can't wait to finish this book and to tell you my thoughts on this one. So the next book that I want to show you guys is actually a finished copy of this book called The Upside of Falling by Alex Light, and this is actually printed in association with Wattpad and HarperCollins. So I'm pretty sure everybody and their mother already knows what Wattpad is, but for those of you who may not know, it's literally just a platform where you can upload your stories and write it. And basically Alex, who is the author that I did meet at that event that I was talking to you guys about earlier, Alex was there, and she basically told us her story about how she got started in writing and how she went to bed one day, had a really wacky dream, and then she couldn't stop thinking about it, so she decided to just like write it all out right before class. Fun fact, me and her went to the same university. She's a couple years younger than me, but we both joked around a lot about like our campus and about like our buildings in our university. It's not the best, but we started joking around about that. But anyways, she was sitting on the floor and she was just like writing chapters of this book, and she published on Wattpad first, and it garnered such like a huge amount of success, and she was super popular. And then Wattpad reached out to her to get her book published, and they did this whole rewriting and this re-editing process to like basically push out this book. So what the Wattpad person did say was that when they print out the books, it's completely different from what you see on Wattpad, the platform. It's like a huge, vast improvement. Like there's like a lot of rewriting involved. So I'm super excited to read this book. A few of the people that attended that event with me have already read it and they really enjoyed it. So I can't wait to read this one as well. And let's just talk about this cover. I love it. So the next book that I received is this beautiful book that I have been dying to get my hands on because I saw it and I was like, oh my god, I need it. But I was thinking like I needed to do like Hunger Games style in order to like get an arc of this book. But basically this book is called I'll Be the One by Lila Lee. And if you guys kind of remember, and if you guys do like, you know, like watch consistently in my videos, basically during the Lunar New Year readathon, I read this book that was a middle grade novel about someone's like Mindy Lee's Lunar New Year like book. And if you guys remember that one, she's the author of this one. So this year she published 3 books. This is, I think, her 3rd book that she's publishing this year. This is a YA teen contemporary novel about this girl who is curvy, beautiful, and strong, and she loves to dance, and she loves K-pop, and she's in Korea, and she wants to become a K-pop star. But obviously, if you guys are new to K-pop star, and basically like it's kind of similar to like celebrities in America, but body image is a very, very important thing in Korea. Like you cannot be an idol, like you can't be a star if you're overweight. Like lots of people in Korea don't like overweight people. They are very prejudiced against it, and they hate it. It's like fat phobia. So we have this shining star in this girl that is trying out all these competitions to become a K-pop idol, and she is basically changing the standards and the level of beauty standards in Korea. So I can't wait to read it. I'm a huge K-pop fan if nobody knew. But yeah, I'm down. Let's go for it. This book comes out in June 2020. So the last book that I received in my bag, and also the last book that I received in this haul, is Rules for Being a Girl by Candace Bushnell and Katie Katugno. So basically Katie has 2 books coming out this year, which is pretty cool. This book is a lot more serious than her other book, I feel like, because this one I feel like it does come with like some iffy topics that could be triggering to some people. And this one actually comes out in April 2020, so next month, very soon. But I know that this one will be a very powerful one. From what I've heard from like the publicist and from like the marketing people, is that this book is about a girl who is entering college, I think, or maybe she's still in high school, but basically her teacher is giving her special attention. Yeah, it gets creepy. She's like, maybe he just likes me as a student because I'm just so good. But then he makes moves on her, and that's when it becomes very uncomfortable. And then obviously it's like her voice against the teacher's voice. So it's like this weird situation of like, what is happening? Obviously she wants to fight back. So I'm going to walk into this story knowing that it's going to deal with a lot of like sensitive topics that could be triggering to some, and a lot of like dark topics and a lot of harder topics to talk about, but very important topics to talk about. Thank you so much to HarperCollins Canada for giving me all these books. But anyways, that is the end of my short and like frequent book haul. So next up for me on the videos on YouTube, I'm going to try to do a reading wrap up because I want to talk about some of the books that I did read this year, because some of them were very notable and some of them were like, okay, please avoid. So I think that'll be interesting for you. And I think like a lot of people on my channel like to listen to my wrap-ups anyways. Like I find that wrap-ups are very calming and very soothing sometimes, because I just want to hear the synopsis of the story, and then I want to hear what people think about it. And then that's when I decided whether or not I want to buy the book or not, or want to give it a try. So anyways, but that is all for now, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.